everybody, I'm Marie from the XBlue support team. I'm very happy to welcome you on this new hands-on series. In this video tutorial, we operate our product in real use or in simulated conditions. Our goal is to explain and detail specific real-life scenario for you out there on the field. This allows us to describe and showcase all the cool features we have and that will help you deploy and use XBlue gear proficiently. Today, we will speak about the GAPS M5 product, last born from XBlue USBL system, and how to deploy and operate it. But first, some context. Let's have a look at XBlue solutions for subsea positioning and navigation. XBlue offers a complete ecosystem dedicated to subsea positioning and navigation with 5 major product lines. Ultra-short baselane system based on a unique design, inertial system based on fog technology, long baselane and sparse LBL systems, software solutions for live or field operations, and all those product lines can even fit on a surface drone, the DriX. Together, these solutions allow for georeferenced decimmetric positioning of any object down to 6,000 meters under the surface. Now, let's have a closer look at our USBL product range, GAPS series. GAPS series is composed of 2 systems, GAPS M5 and GAPS M7. Both systems share the same goal of providing high performance and ease of operation. They have the same unique acoustic antenna architecture, and they both have an inertial system inside, making it easily deployable, calibration-free, and highly performant. This common architecture allows both systems to have a 200 degrees acoustic aperture, making them ideal for horizontal tracking or ultra-shallow water positioning, for example. With its unique antenna design, GAPS will measure distance and direction. The inertial system inside will determine the attitude of the GAPS. With these 3 information, GAPS will display an accurate and absolute transponder position. How do GAPS M5 and GAPS M7 differ? GAPS M5 accuracy is 0.5% of the scent range. Gyro compass inside, 995 meters max range. GAPS M7 accuracy is up to 0.06% of the scent range. INS inside and 4,000 meters max range. On top of that, GAPS M5 is completely free of export. At last, the GAPS is compatible with a wide variety of transponders. The XBlue transponder including MT8, MT9, Ramses and Canopus. The third-party transponder including Uplight and Sonardyne. Now that you know everything about our product range and our subsea positioning solution, let's go! We will begin by unboxing the system and learn how to pre-deploy it, because some notions are important to know before deploying GAPS in order to maximize the deployment efficiency. Let's have a look at what is inside the box. Okay, so I open the box and take the foam out. Now we can see what is inside the box. Let's begin the unboxing. I took the top foam from the box. You will see that it is useful for my bench. Here is the GAPS antenna itself. You can see it has different parts. The connector for the deck cable, the upper flange, this is where we will fit it mechanically to the vessel. The main body, this is where inside we have the Octans Nano gyro compass. The emission transducer, here, it will send the interrogation to the beacon, the 4 hydrophone that will receive the response from the beacon, and the protective caps that we will keep until the deployment. Now I present you the GAPS box. This is your main interface with the GAPS system. It will allow you to link the deck cable to the GAPS antenna and provide with diverse hardware interface as follows. Power distribution here. 220 volt or 24 volt, antenna cable here, Ethernet in and out, serial in and out, and synchronization interface, trigger, and PPS. And now is the front panel of the GAPS box with light codes. Now I take the DAC cable of the box. The cable comes in a default 50 meter version and can be ordered up to 100 meter with a repeater box. The cable has two connectors, one for the antenna side, the subcon, and one for the GAPS box side, the Suryo. You must allow some room for the antenna cable and its bending radius to install on board. Now let's have a look at the items I need to complete the GAPS system. A computer, a GPS, a transponder that is composed of an hydrophone, the hydrophone cable, the body, and the on-off plug. Let's consider our deployment options. There are multitude deployment scenarios you can choose from depending on what you have available on board or what is your application. For example, on a side pole, on a buoy, on a moon pool, with a hoisting system, a towed platform, a drone, or a pipe-lay vessel. Today, let's keep it simple by using this vessel. We choose a pole deployment for a ROV inspection tracking. Here are the installation recommendations for optimal deployment on board your vessel, far from the environment noise as propeller, here, here, water discharge systems, here and here. Antenna depth far from reflective surface as sea surface and boat keel. As an example, the pole can be here. We also recommend to install the H1 hydrophone towards the bow, a flat orientation, even if any orientation is possible. Keep in mind the cable curvature. On a vessel installation, there is two options for the GNSS. Use an internal GNSS optionally delivered with the GAPS, or use an external GNSS from the vessel. Both solutions will act the same. It is more about your deployment plans. For example, on a small opportunity vessel, you will use the internal GNSS to minimize the system on board. Today, we choose to show you the external GNSS option, and we will simulate it from my computer. As a reminder, it is important to have an accurate GPS level arm requirement. Now that we did the surface pre-deployment, let's consider what will happen subsea with the transponder. In our application, we will have a ROV with a TMS, both set with transponders. For the transponder recommendation, we have to consider the following: as far as possible from the noise source, as far as possible from the reflective surfaces, orientation up. As a reminder, always keep right on track of the transponder settings. Always test the transponder batteries. Always test the transponder before its deployment. There is also two cases for our transponder deployment. The transponder configuration with no cable link from the surface and full autonomous. The responder configuration, cable link with the surface, interrogation with trigger link from the surface. So it is resistive to noise environment, and you can have better control of vehicle acoustic equipment. The beacon is also powered from the surface. To finish, the last thing to consider for our pre-deployment is about timings. To define the recurrence time, this is the time in between two GAPS interrogation of the transponder. To set this recurrence time, we have to know the maximum range of operation. For our example, we choose 200 meters. To set this recurrence time, we have to know the maximum range of operations. For our example, we choose 200 meters, so a recurrence of 1 second. Now I have all my equipments and configuration plan. Let's explain a full processing cycle of the GAPS. The GNSS is connected to the box and sends its position information to the gyro compass. The GAPS will interrogate acoustically the beacon. At this time, we have the attitude and position information. The beacons reply to the GAPS antenna. At signal reception on the antenna, the acoustic processing computes range and angles of the beacon. In the same time, the gyrocompa and GNSS provide the attitude and position linked to this acoustic processing. As a result, we have an accurate absolute beacon position. So the pre-deployment phase is over. We saw that the system is very simple to deploy. All the processing is done inside the GAPS head. Everything that I showed you in this first session is very important if you want to maximize your field time with an efficient deployment. To summarize, you need to prepare your deployment with a case study in mind. In the next session, I will show you the deployment and configuration of a GAPS system for a ROV inspection with a TMS. Let's go for the second session.